So do you think that this fee structure would increase in future, and if yes, where would that fee be used?
If you ask me, I would not encourage increase of fee.
So as the new generations, like what we call as Gen Zs, are going to enter the campuses, they're going to enter the corporate
already
world.
here.
They are already here, right? They're going to enter the corporate world. And I'm pretty sure that some of the corporates might not be ready for Gen Zs at the moment. So what skills or what I would say things that Gen Zs should understand or they should adapt to so that they are more welcoming to the corporate world, and the corporate world is also vice versa more welcoming to them?
We make a statement sometimes that when a new child is born, it's an indicator that God is not yet fed up with the human race. So that applies to corporate as well, because every year we have 100 plus companies walking into the campus to select people. That means corporates are still not tired of business schools.
Hi everyone, welcome to this exclusive interview with Professor Kavita Singh from FMS. She's one of the most experienced faculties here, and I thank a lot to you for taking out this time. So ma'am, how are you doing today?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be in front of the camera and to have a conversation with the rest of the world outside. I'm doing well, I'm fine.
That's great. That's great. So, ma'am, this specific interview is going to be a guiding light to all the students who are currently preparing for CAT, who are aspiring to go for the MBAs, and especially going for the FMS. So, we'll have a certain chat कि आगे चल के students को किस तरह से preparation करनी चाहिए, CAT के अंदर उन्हें क्या करना चाहिए, अब उनका GDPI के rounds होंगे तो क्या करना चाहिए. So let's get started कि जैसे अभी CAT aspirants are currently preparing for the GDPI and FMS interviews are currently awaited. So what are the three things that every candidate should prepare for before they go into the FMS interviews?
I'm sure, most of the people, aspirants, know that FMS has a different format of process of selection. We generally do not conduct any GD. We rely more on PI and Extempore. That's one of the USPs of FMS, that we ask the student to speak for 2 seconds on a topic that we choose. Not his choice. We give him a topic, ask the student to think about for about 20 seconds, and then speak for 90 seconds, so that we are checking on his verbal ability. Because at the end of the day, FMS, most of the management jobs, corporate jobs, are mainly about communication. How well can you communicate? So we try to assess whether the student has the ability to, think out of the box and bring something on the table which makes him different from rest of the other, aspirants. So that's one part of the interview. And then we have a PI. So PI generally, as I always believe, that PI is generally generated by the student. We ask certain questions, and then the way he or she begins to give the answer, rest of the questions are built generally on that. But yes, we want students not with arrogance, not with overconfidence. Some of them are. We want moderate level of confidence in the students. We want a structured line of thinking. He or she should not give us, we've been sitting behind the table, I think now most of us, for 30, 25, 20 years. So it's very easy for us to judge whether this person is flying neutral kites or he means business here. So very structured thinking. Whatever questions are asked, if you don't know the answer, it's better to say, I don't know, rather than, trying to act too smart and, tell the panel there that something weird or strange. And then the third thing that we are looking for, FMS is known to be a very humble campus, as you know, though you've seen the building already. So we want humility from the student, that he or she should show that strand of, being able to relate with empathy with other people as well in the institution. Not go a lone way. And I know it's a very competitive game, but thankfully, for some reason, at least last 36 years that I've been here, I have not seen that kind of competition among students. They gel well, they relate well. So that's something, again, we are looking for. So it's basically communication, confidence, knowledge base, and maybe a little bit of empathy and humility amongst them.
That's wonderful, ma'am. So these steps are actually going to help students actually structure their answers well, because as you said that most of the interviews are actually answer driven. So basically the essence lies in answering the questions rather than looking and seeking for what comes next.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So, ma'am, FMS is considered to be a mecca of management across India. So, what is that exclusive thing of the FMS students that truly differentiates them from the other B school students?
Um, one of the very, very distinctive feature of this place is that maybe being a part of the university system is that we get students from all strata of society. So we have, different seats for socioeconomic status and other kinds of category that we can think of, including, the war widows, CW category, where somebody who's lost his father or mother in war, or even in the time of peace, a person from the defense. So there are, and then disability seats. So that's one of the very typical features of this institution that, from the top echelon, 99.9 percentile, sometimes even 100, to people who are from different strata of the society. So as a result of which, and honestly, as a professor here, I won't know in the class as to who's who. For me, every student, and for all of us here, in fact, every student is a student, irrespective of whichever division he or she comes from. So for me, it's not easy to find out, and none of us even try to find out. And that gives a kind of, a comfort zone to each and every student that we belong here. And while you speak to the students, maybe later on, you will hear from them that they do not see any such kind of discrimination happening at any level in the institution. So that is something which has, at least kept me here for a long time, because then you feel totally unified, that you are representing not only an institution or an organization, maybe your own country, which is so diverse and yet so inclusive. So we have that kind of culture here, and we give some weightage to women candidates as well, because I mean, I don't blame. I don't say that it's the the background. Like most of our, I mean, I being a psychologist, I do not appreciate this, but that's a reality. Most of the MBA students come from engineering backgrounds, and engineering in itself is mainly dominated by men, boys. So that's why the pool is, pool of women in engineering colleges slightly lesser. And that same pool comes here as aspirants, they start preparing. So as a result of which, I think few years back we took this call, because what happened was in 2000, early 2000s, we had good number of balance of women and men and girls and boys in the class. But after 2010, we started seeing a very sharp decline. There would be a batch where 15% girls only, 20% girls only. So then we had to work on this model as to how we can at least give some kind of extra weightage so that there are more number. And class looks good when there are equal, at least moderate representation of all kinds of people in the class. So that's something very, very distinct that we do here. Anything else? If it comes to my mind, I'll let you know.
Sure. So, ma'am, just by talking to you, I feel that humility is the core essence of FMS.
Yes.
I think that it is there in every nook and corner, and in every person, every faculty, and even the way the building is. So we all know that the fee structure of FMS is one of the most affordable and one of the most approachable, I would say, for everyone out there who's aspiring to become an MBA grad. So do you think that this fee structure would increase in future? And if yes, where would that fee be used?
If you ask me, I would not encourage increase of fee. We already had an increase. I mean, I don't know if you know the history, till about 2011-12, our fees was only 20,000 for 2 years.
Oh.
So 10,500, if I remember, for 1 year. And all our alumni of those days are doing great in the corporate. You name a company and you name any CXO level, you will find an FMS person there. So fee had nothing to do with kind of education that was being provided and also the kind of intake that we had. And today with the fee structure that we have, yes, amongst the premier business school, I would say it's nothing. A student who's worked, a person who's worked for 2 years can easily come and do his MBA or her MBA without even taking the loan, because he's already earned that much in 2 years' time.
Yes.
So increasing fee being the part of the university system, if we were an autonomous institution, maybe it would have helped us. But being a part of the university system, this money is not of any direct input to the institution. So personally, and that's totally my personal opinion, the fee should remain as it is, and we get good enough wonderful students here, and we are really proud of those. We are there because of them, as simple as that. Our name is, we've been here for ages, but our name as FMS name goes today even as one of the best business schools is because of our students. So and then I think again, because we take students from all strata of society, so many intelligent students, very intelligent students, may not be able to afford that kind of fee. So they miss out on possibilities that are there. So I think it's better to take wonderful students irrespective of the fee structure.
That's great, ma'am. So today, while coming to the campus, we discovered that there's an alternate campus of FMS as well.
Yes.
So that came as a surprise to every one of us, in fact. So can you tell a little bit about when that campus was made? What is the purpose of that
This was year 1989 when I joined FMS.
Okay.
I'm ancient actually. And those were the days. Bennett Coleman, Times of India Group, they sponsored this building, SP Jain Center, Research Center in South Campus, which was an NXC, a part of FMS. And regular classes used to happen then there. One of the sections would regularly go to South, and one section would be here. But slowly, the entire, this is known as Red Building of Dreams. In our own domain, we named this institution as Red Building of Dreams, which is more visible in North Campus. So the alumni identify with this building when they come here. So that building is still a part of us. We hold classes there. In fact, we have another program, which is MBA Executive Program, which happens in both the campuses. So all evening executive South Campus classes happen in South Campus building. For the full-time students, they keep on traveling. One of the sections goes there. So every day, one or the other section is there.
Okay.
The full-time classes are also happening. Then we have some corporate training programs, which also happen in that building, because this building capacity is limited. And, I always tell my students also when I start this session that the intellectual density of this building is the highest, because there's so many intelligent people, and look at the volume capacity here. So this is something which, there is a building, and it's a dedicated building to FMS, and we hold classes there. But most of us are stationed in North Campus. The faculty members, except for 3-4 of us who are stationed in South, most of us are stationed in North Campus. So it's a mix of both. Even I go to South Campus to teach.
All right. So, as you just told us that you've been in the management and education industry from quite some time now. How have you seen the trends changing in the management jobs from the past to now, and what do you think would be the trends in the next 15 years?
It's not an easy question to answer. In terms of, I may appear to be slightly biased because I'm an old generation conservative person. Students have evolved a lot. I mean, I remember my old students who used to be, more connected with teachers. They were involved in FMS all the time. And the strength, we had 60 in a batch. Today we have 330 in a batch. So it's 5.5-fold increase. So there was a direct interaction between students and teachers. But today, over the years, what I observed was, which hurts me sometimes also, because the distance between the faculty and the student is growing very fast. No commentary on, millennials or Z. That's my area of interest, but I don't want to comment it here. somewhere, the whole fabric is changing. The social fabric is changing. And again, no judgment, because it has to change. Everything, I mean, we were different from our earlier generation. So next generation is going to be different from us. So these students are the current students, and last 4 or 5 years that we've observed. And we generally have a tendency to blame it on COVID, but I will not do that. But these students are more self-dependent. Maybe it's the information age. They have so much of information available outside, so they may not require that information in the classroom, which earlier was missing for students. They did not have access to all these AI tools, which would give them more information than a professor could provide. And we are limited in our capacities. AI is not, though it's a human-made tool, but still. So they are more focused. I don't know whether does that help or not help. I'm not sure once again. Because sometimes, I always tell them that at such a young age, you need some kind of support, or hand-holding guidance, but they don't. So, and when I talk to my alumni sometimes as well, that's taking an impact in the corporate as well today. Because they also find this change happening in the corporate, that the new generation which is coming in, no offense to them, they have a very short attention span. They cannot, remain focused for a long time. And this goes into the corporate as well, where you are required to be dedicated, sincere, hardworking. They are hardworking, no doubt about it. No questions on that. But they believe in making shifts faster. As compared to the loyalists who were there, 36 years I've spent. Not a single day I thought that I should shift somewhere else. But, and which is maybe the need of the hour. And so that's the kind of change that we see. They are not satisfied with anything. They want more and more, which is good. But sometimes and when they don't get it, the problem is you can ask for moon, but if you don't get it, then you should not be upset. They get upset.
They get impatient as well.
Yes, they get impatient, they question, and they challenge, and which sometimes, because I always, because I'm, again, an OB professor, so I always make a comment that there is a difference between what you desire and what you deserve. There's a gap. I always desire more than what I deserve, but desire becomes more important than the deserve here. So it's okay. I accept it. I accept them with all open arms. Whatever they do is acceptable to me. But कहीं ना कहीं I'm sure शायद उनको कहीं pain दे or hurt करे, because of the extreme desires that they have. I hear from alumni कि उनको अपनी vacation ज़्यादा दिखती हैं as compared to work. छुट्टी कब मिलेगी हमें?
Yes.
So ठीक है. That's how the system
works. So do you
works.
think कि students अब ज़्यादा individualistic हो चुके हैं? And they are more towards the individual contributors than becoming the team players?
देखो, I don't know, you, some of you must be MBAs, you must have done Hofstede की study, जिसमें उसने इंडिया को एक collectivist culture बताया था.
Yes.
He said that India is a collectivist culture. But yes, we have Western influence to a very great level now, thanks to opening up of all these, as I said earlier, your technology, that everything a person is aware of. So yes, they have become... And also the family structure, which was a very joint family system where we learned the values of give and take, where now it's a nuclear family, single child. And therefore, there is no question of give and take. It's like, it's all mine.
It's all mine.
And therefore, you become self-focused, which is, every action and behavior has both sides, both positive and negative. If we were collectivist, that also had its negatives. We never grew up to be self-dependent. We were always relying on others. But if you are too individualistic, at the end of the day, you need some kind of help and support. So, yeah, maybe, self-focused, independent, individualistic, as you said, impatient. But the good thing is, what I love about these kids are, they're confident. Unlike us, they are confident about everything that they do in life. And they're ready to take responsibility for what they do. They're not going to blame anyone else for what they do in life, which is a wonderful thing.
So we have just talked about cultural shift and the mindset shift of the previous generations to the generations which are coming right now, and maybe there would be more changes which would be coming up in the next decades
Yes,
to
yes,
come, right?
definitely.
So as the new generations, like what we call as Gen Zs, are going to enter the campuses, they're going to enter the corporate
already
world.
here.
They are already here, right? They're going to enter the corporate world, and I'm pretty sure that some of the corporates might not be ready for Gen Zs at the moment. So, what skills or what I would say things that Gen Zs should understand or they should adapt to so that they are more welcoming to the corporate world, and the corporate world is also vice versa more welcoming to them?
We make a statement sometimes that when a new child is born, it's an indicator that God is not yet fed up with the human race. So that applies to corporate as well, because every year we have 100 plus companies walking into the campus to select people. That means corporates are still not tired of business schools. They're still hiring. They still want people, and they hire in numbers. Some of the companies, they hire in good numbers. And that gives us a kind of solace कि बाहर सब ठीक है, उन्हें हमारी ज़रूरत है. So, next 10, it's happening right now, thank God. Most of us are in that phase. We won't be able to experience that. But these kids today, when they go to the corporate, and I'm sure all of you here as well, the AI is taking the world by storm, and there's a great fear. I remember 80s, I'm sure these kids were not even born, when computerization was being introduced in India. Same kind of storm, ki now jobs will go away, and because the job which was being done by 10 people will be done by one person, and therefore there'll be no employment. It was a fear in the minds of people, but we're still there. There are jobs, there are opportunities, maybe different kind of jobs. That is what is going to happen, in next 10 years' time. There'll be different kind of jobs, and these people are going to be well trained to carry out those jobs. So what they need is accountability. They should be accountable for what they do, which to some extent they are. We have, in our institute, we have these student bodies working independently, each different societies which carry out their events independently, and they do a good job. I mean, we keep on finding faults in their actions and all the deliberations, but from their side, they're doing a good job at this age, at this level, where some of them are not even clear as to how to conduct an event or a lecture or something. They make an effort. So what I would expect them to be more responsible, more accountable. They should read more. They don't read, especially books. They don't believe in reading books. I don't think any of the student today buys a textbook for the MBA course. They rely more on Google or these kind of information. I'm not saying Google is wrong, but maybe it's coming from a very old mindset that having a book in your hand gives you more confidence than that mobile in your hand. But then that's their personal choices, if they can do well with. But then I believe, as a teacher, that knowledge becomes very limited. When you are accessing these tools to gather knowledge, it's very, very specific and
keyword centric.
Whatever you want, the answer will be there.
Yes. So just before we close this interview, just one last question: that what is the advice that you would want to give to anyone who's joining the MBA universe, and to the people who are just about to complete their MBA and going to the corporates now?
Can we elaborate on this question? What do I expect?
All the students जो भी MBA में आ रहे हैं, what should they prepare before they come to an MBA? And
first thing is CAT. They know what CAT is. They are well trained. There are institutions which are giving them this knowledge as to what CAT entails. So all those 4, parts of CAT that they should be working on. They should be, naturally, most of the institutes rely on the CAT score for at least for entry, to call you, to shortlist you. So they should work hard to prepare for this CAT, whatever ways. That's choice is theirs, whether they want to do it on their own or they want to attach themselves to a school where they will get some knowledge about this, online, offline. That's totally their choice. But they can't attempt this exam without any preparation that, I can crack it, I'm intelligent enough. Because ultimately, again, you need a background to be able to crack any such kind of competitive exam. And let's face it, competition is very tough. As far as CAT is concerned, numbers are huge. People who apply. I mean, I know for sure approximately 36,000 students apply to FMS only through CAT.
Correct.
So big number is maybe running into lakhs. And you are competing for one seat. So अगर हमने 36,000 हमारे FMS में थे, and we have 300 seats, you can do the maths yourself. What is the ratio of student who's going to get selected here? And then we call, about 1:6 or 1:7 ratio for interview. So again, it's getting limited. The number is crunching every time. And then if you don't convert it, you're out. So first is your theoretical preparation of all these exams, and then mock GDs are very important because some students are highly introverted. They are very good, they're very intelligent, they can speak on their own when it comes to solo performance. But when it comes to sitting in the group, they lose words. They don't know, maybe their fear of rejection or humiliation is very high. So they don't speak. Now, my advice is that if you don't speak, you will not be evaluated. I mean, nobody's going to think, "Yare, ye to bichara introvert hai, isliye isko number de dete hain." In front of the panel, in those 15 minutes, you have to present your point of view. So you should be, whatever be the topic, you can't even say, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with this topic, I will not speak." And if you hitchhike, if you try to just repeat what somebody else said, that's not going to work because these are experts sitting in front of you. So they can make out that you're making stories out of nothing. So prepare for GD well, prepare with your friends, prepare with your mates, who are attending sessions with you, and work hard for it. Don't just leave it, "Arey, us samay dekh lenge." Us samay kuch nahi dikhta hai. FMS does not have a GD, but all the business schools have a GD process in place. And then as far as FMS specifically is concerned, Extempore is very important. Prepare. You may get a topic, you don't know anything. We can give a very random topic like my pen. Now, how do I speak on my pen for 2 minutes? I always think I can speak, but after 30 seconds, I don't have anything else to say.
Correct.
And you stop halfway. We still wait impatiently. Shayad this person may speak something. And I can understand being on that person's chair, you are lost. It's totally dark. You don't know what to speak next. So, again, as a psychologist, I would say stand in front of the mirror and learn to speak to yourself. And then, the words should come out, flow out of your mouth. Talk random. We just want you to talk. If it's not a very specific topic. If it's a very general, just speak something. Don't hold on and look at the panel that I can't speak more than that. We can't evaluate you. It's not that I don't want to. I want to take you, but you have to present yourself to me in a form which is acceptable to me as an MBA student. So these 3-4 things, and that plus those confidence and no arrogance, no overconfidence, humility, these are very important. That's what we judge on. We judge the students' knowledge, content knowledge. If you're an engineer, electrical engineer, you should know what electrical engineering is and what is the difference between electrical and electronics engineer, which and unfortunately some of them don't have any idea. So you should know your subject. And as I told you, interview is guided by you, the candidate. The moment you speak a word, the panel picks up. I said, now tell me something about this. And then with arrogance, overconfidence, I was saying something and suddenly I'm caught in my own web. I don't know what to say next. So you should know what you're doing. You should be aware of your own self.
That's quite insightful, ma'am. So, ma'am, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you so much.
I've actually taken so much time of yours, but I think that the time that you have given and the words that you have spoken are going to be acting as the words of wisdom and guiding light.
I hope they help.
They would definitely go for that way.
And I wish all the best to the upcoming aspirants and hope to see some of you in FMS as well.
Great.
If not this year, maybe next year.
Yes.
Thank you so
Great,
much.
ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am.